The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. Act I scene I Venice, a street. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a want-wit sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself. Your mind is tossing on the ocean, there, where your argosies with portly sail, like Cygnias and rich burghers on the flood, are, as it were, the pageants of the sea, do overpeer the petty traffickers that curtsy to them, do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings. Believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. I should be still plucking the grass, to know where sits the wind, peering in maps for pots and piers and roads, and every object that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt would make me sad. My wind cooling my broth would blow me to an ague, when I thought what harm a wind too great at sea might do. I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand, veiling her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks, which touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter all her spices on the stream, enrobe the roaring waters with my silks, and, in a word, but even now worth this, and now worth nothing. Shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing bechanced would make me sad? But tell not me. I know, Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise. Believe me, no. I thank my fortune for it. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year, therefore my merchandise makes me not sad. Not in love neither? Then let us say you are sad, because you are not merry. And 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry, because you are not sad. Now, by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time, some that will evermore peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, and other of such vinegar aspect that they'll not show their teeth in way of smile, though Nestor swear the jest be laughable. Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Gratiano and Lorenzo. Fare you well, we leave you now with better company. I would have stayed till I had made you merry, if worthier friends had not prevented me. Your worth is very dear in my regard. I take it, your own business calls on you, and you embrace the occasion to depart. Good Cygnias both, when shall we laugh? Say when? You grow exceeding strange, must it be so? My lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, we too will leave you, but at dinner time, I pray you, have in mind where we must meet. You look not well, Signor Antonio, you have too much respect upon the world. They lose it that do buy it with much care, believe me, you are marvelously changed. I hold the world but as the world, Gratiano, a stage where every man must play a part, and mine a sad one. Let me play the fool, with mirth and laughter let old wrinkles come, and let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with modifying groans. Why should a man, whose blood is warm within, sit like his grandsire cut in alabaster? Sleep when he wakes and creep into the jaundice by being peevish. I tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and it is my love that speaks. There are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle, like a standing pond, and do a wilful stillness entertain, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit, as who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I ope my lips let no dog bark. O my Antonio, I do know of these that therefore only are reputed wise for saying nothing, when I am very sure, if they should speak, would almost damn those ears, which, hearing them, would call their brothers fools. I'll tell thee more of this another time, but fish not with this melancholy bait, for this fool gudgeon, this opinion. Come, good Lorenzo, fare you well a while. I'll end my exhortation off to dinner. Well, we will leave you then till dinner time. I must be one of these same dumb wise men, for Gratiano never lets me speak. Well, keep me company but 2 years mo, thou shalt not know the sound of thine own tongue. Thanks, I faith, for silence is only commendable in a neat's tongue dried and a maid not vendible. Exeunt Gratiano and Lorenzo. Well, tell me now what lady is the same to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me of? 'Tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate, by something showing a more swelling pot than my faint means would grant continuance. Nor do I now make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, but my chief care is to come fairly off from the great debts wherein my time something too prodigal hath left me gauged. To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love, and from your love I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purposes how to get clear of all the debts I owe. I pray you, good Bassanio, let me know it. And if it stand, as you yourself still do, within the eye of honor, be assured, my purse, my person, my extremest means, lie all unlocked to your occasions. In my school days, when I had lost one shaft, I shot his fellow of the self-same flight the self-same way with more advised watch, to find the other farth, and by adventuring both I oft found both. I urge this childhood proof, because what follows is pure innocence. I owe you much, and, like a wilful youth, that which I owe is lost. But if you please to shoot another arrow that self-way which you did shoot the first, I do not doubt, as I will watch the aim, or to find both, or bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first. You know me well, and herein spend but time to wind about my love with circumstance, and out of doubt you do me now more wrong in making question of my uttermost, than if you had made waste of all I have. Then do but say to me what I should do that in your knowledge may by me be done, and I am pressed unto it. Therefore, speak. In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than that word, of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia, nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter, Brutus Portia. Nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, for the far winds blow in from every coast renowned suitors, and her sunny locks hang on her temples like a golden fleece, which makes her seat of Belmont Colcho's strand, and many Jasons come in quest of her. O my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift, that I should questionless be fortunate. Thou know'st that all my fortunes are at sea, neither have I money nor commodity to raise a present sum, therefore go forth, try what my credit can in Venice do, that shall be racked even to the uttermost to furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. Go, presently inquire, and so will I, where money is, and I no question make to have it of my trust or for my sake. Exeunt. Scene Roman 2 Belmont, a room in Portia's house. Scene Roman 3 Venice, a public place. Aside, how like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him for he is a Christian, but more for that, in low simplicity, he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails, even there where merchants most do congregate on me, my bargains and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him. I am debating of my present star, and by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross of full 3,000 ducats. What of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, will furnish me. But soft, how many months do you desire? To Antonio. Rest you fair, good Signia, your worship was the last man in our mouths. Shylock, although I neither lend nor borrow by taking nor by giving of excess, yet, to supply the ripe wants of my friend, I'll break a custom. Is he yet possessed how much you would? I had forgot, 3 months, you told me so. Well then, your bond, and let me see, but hear you, methought you said you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage. When Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob from our holy Abram was, as his wise mother wrought in his behalf, the third possessor. Aye, he was the third. No, not take interest, not, as you would say, directly interest. Mock what Jacob did. When Laban and himself were compromised that all the eanlings which were streaked and pied should fall as Jacob's hire, the ewes, being rank, in the end of autumn turned to the rams, and, when the work of generation was between these woolly breeders in the act, the skilful shepherd peeled me certain ones, and in the doing of the deed of kind, he stuck them up before the fulsome ewes, who then conceiving did in eaning time fall potty-colored lambs, and those were Jacob's. This was a way to thrive, and he was blessed, and thrift is blessing, if men steal it not. This was a venture, sir, that Jacob served for, a thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the hand of heaven. Was this inserted to make interest good, or is your gold and silver ewes and rams? I cannot tell, I make it breed as fast, but note me, Signia. Mock you this, Bassanio, the devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul producing holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek, a goodly apple rotten at the heart. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood hath! 3,000 ducats, 'tis a good round sum. 3 months from 12, then, let me see the rate. Signor Antonio, many a time and oft in the Rialto you have rated me about my moneys and my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well then, it now appears you need my help. Go to then. You come to me, and you say, Shylock, we would have moneys. You say so, you, that did void your room upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Money's is your suit, what should I say to you? Should I not say, hath a dog money? Is it possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low, and in a bondman's key, with bated breath and whispering humbleness, say this: Fair sir, you spit on me on Wednesday last, you spurned me such a day, another time you called me dog, and for these courtesies I'll lend you thus much moneys. I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friends, for when did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend, but lend it rather to thine enemy, who, if he break, thou mayst with better face exact the penalty. Why, look you, how you storm? I would be friends with you and have your love, forget the shames that you have stained me with, supply your present wants and take no doit of usance for my moneys, and you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer. This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary, seal me there your single bond, and in a merry spot, if you repay me not on such a day, in such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut off and taken in what part of your body pleaseth me. Content, I faith, I'll seal to such a bond and say there is much kindness in the Jew. You shall not seal to such a bond for me, I'll rather dwell in my necessity. Why, fear not, man, I will not forfeit it. Within these 2 months, that's a month before this bond expires, I do expect return of thrice 3 times the value of this bond. O Father Abram, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teaches them suspect the thoughts of others. Pray you, tell me this: if he should break his day, what should I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not so estimable, profitable neither, as flesh of muttons, beefs, or goats. I say, to buy his favor, I extend this friendship, if he will take it so, if not, adieu, and for my love, I pray you wrong me not. Then meet me forthwith at the notary's, give him direction for this merry bond, and I will go and purse the ducats straight, see to my house, left in the fearful God of an unthrifty knave, and presently I will be with you. Hie thee, gentle Jew, exit Shylock. The Hebrew will turn Christian, he grows kind. Come on, in this there can be no dismay, my ships come home a month before the day. Exeunt. The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. Uncopyright, may you do good and not evil. May you find forgiveness for yourself and forgive others. May you share freely, never taking more than you give. Copyright pages exist to tell you that you can't do something. Unlike them, this uncopyright page exists to tell you that the writing and artwork in this ebook are believed to be in the United States public domain. That is, they are believed to be free of copyright restrictions in the United States. The United States public domain represents our collective cultural heritage, and items in it are free for anyone in the United States to do almost anything at all with, without having to get permission. Copyright laws are different all over the world, and the source text or artwork in this ebook may still be copyrighted in other countries. If you're not located in the United States, you must check your local laws before using this ebook. Standard ebooks makes no representations regarding the copyright status of the source text or artwork in this ebook in any country other than the United States. Non-authorship, activities performed on items that are in the public domain, so-called sweat of the brow, work, don't create a new copyright. That means that nobody can claim a new copyright on an item that is in the public domain for, among other things, work like digitization, mock-up, or typography. Regardless, the contributors to this ebook release their contributions under the terms in the CC 01.0 Universal Public Domain dedication, thus dedicating to the worldwide public domain all of the work they've done on this ebook, including but not limited to metadata, the title page, imprint, colophon, this uncopyright, and any changes or enhancements to, or mock-up on, the original text and artwork. This dedication doesn't change the copyright status of the source text or artwork. We make this dedication in the interest of enriching our global cultural heritage, to promote free and libre culture around the world, and to give back to the unrestricted culture that has given all of us so much. Table of Contents Landmarks, Act Roman 2 Sinai Belmont, a room in Pasha's house. Mislike me not for my complexion, the shadowed livery of the burnished sun, to whom I am a neighbor and near bred. Bring me the fairest creature Northwood born, where Phoebus' fire scarce thaws the icicles, and let us make incision for your love, to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine. I tell thee, lady, this aspect of mine hath feared the valiant. By my love I swear the best-regarded virgins of our clime have loved it too. I would not change this hue, except to steal your thoughts, my gentle queen. In terms of choice, I am not solely led by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. Besides, the lottery of my destiny bars me the right of voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me, and hedged me by his wit, to yield myself his wife who wins me by that means I told you, yourself, renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I have looked on yet for my affection. Even for that I thank you. Therefore, I pray you, lead me to the caskets to try my fortune. By this scimitar that slew the Sophi and a Persian prince that won 3 fields of Sultan Solomon, I would outstare the sternest eyes that look, outbrave the hot most daring on the earth, pluck the young sucking cubs from the she-bear, mock the lion when he roars for prey, to win thee, lady. But alas the while! If Hercules and liches play at dice which is the better man, the greater throw may turn by fortune from the weaker hand, so is Alcides beaten by his page, and so may I, blind fortune leading me, miss that which one unworthier may attain, and die with grieving. You must take your chance, and either not attempt to choose at all or swear before you choose. If you choose wrong, never to speak to lady afterward in way of marriage. Therefore be advised. First, forward to the temple. After dinner your hazard shall be made. Good fortune then, to make me blessed or cursedst among men. Connets and exeunt. Scene Roman 2 Venice. A street, I know thee well. Thou hast obtained thy suit. Shylock thy master spoke with me this day, and hath preferred thee, if it be preferment to leave a rich Jew's service, to become the follower of so poor a gentleman. Thou speakst it well. Go, father, with thy son. Take leave of thy old master, and inquire my lodging out. Give him a livery more guarded than his fellows. See it done. I pray thee, good Leonardo, think on this. These things being bought and oddly bestowed, return in haste, for I do feast tonight my best esteemed acquaintance. Hie thee go. Why then you must. But hear thee, Gratiano, thou art too wild, too rude and bold of voice. Pots that become thee happily enough, and in such eyes as ours appear not faults. But where thou art not known, why, there they show something too liberal. Pray thee, take pain to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit, lest through thy wild behavior I be misconstrued in the place I go to, and lose my hopes. Signia Bassanio, hear me, if I do not put on a sober habit, talk with respect and swear but now and then, wear prayer books in my pocket, look demurely, nay more, while grace is saying, hood mine eyes thus with my hat, and sigh and say, Amen, use all the observance of civility, like one well studied in a sad ostent to please his grandam, never trust me more. Nay, but I bar tonight. You shall not gauge me by what we do tonight. No, that were pity, I would entreat you rather to put on your boldest suit of mirth, for we have friends that purpose merriment. But fare you well, I have some business, and I must to Lorenzo and the rest, but we will visit you at supper time. Exeunt. Scene Roman 3 the same, a room in Shylock's house. I am sorry thou wilt leave my father so. Our house is hell, and thou, a merry devil, didst rub it of some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well, there is a ducat for thee, and Launcelot, soon at supper shalt thou see Lorenzo, who is thy new master's guest, give him this letter. Do it secretly, and so farewell. I would not have my father see me in talk with thee. Farewell, good Launcelot. Exit Launcelot. Alack, what heinous sin is it in me to be ashamed to be my father's child? But though I am a daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. O Lorenzo, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife, become a Christian and thy loving wife. Exit, scene Roman 4 the same. A street. Nay, we will slink away in supper time, disguise us at my lodging and return, all in an hour. 'Tis vile, unless it may be quaintly ordered, and better in my mind not undertook. 'Tis now but 4 o'clock. We have 2 hours to furnish us. I know the hand, in faith, 'tis a fair hand, and whiter than the paper it writ on is the fair hand that writ. Hold here, take this. Tell gentle Jessica I will not fail her. Speak it privately. Go, gentlemen, exit Launcelot. Will you prepare you for this masque tonight? I am provided of a torch-bearer. Meet me and Gratiano at Gratiano's lodging some hour hence. I must needs tell thee all. She hath directed how I shall take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she is furnished with, what page suit she hath in readiness. If e'er the Jew her father come to heaven, it will be for his gentle daughter's sake, and never dare misfortune cross her foot, unless she do it under this excuse, that she is issue to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me, peruse this as thou goest, fair Jessica shall be my torch-bearer. Exeunt. Scene V the same, before Shylock's house. Well, thou shalt see, thy eyes shall be thy judge, the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. What, Jessica? Thou shalt not gourmandize as thou hast done with me. What, Jessica? And sleep and snaw and rend apparel out. Why, Jessica, I say, I am bid forth to supper, Jessica, there are my keys. But wherefore should I go? I am not bid for love. They flatter me, but yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I am right loath to go. There is some ill brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of moneybags tonight. What are their masks? Hear you me, Jessica? Lock up my doors, and when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces, but stop my house's ears, I mean my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I swear, I have no mind of feasting forth tonight, but I will go. Go you before me, sirrah, say I will come, I will go before, sir. Mistress, look out at window, for all this, there will come a Christian by, will be worth a Jewess eye. Exit. The patch is kind enough, but a huge feeder, snail slow in profit, and he sleeps by day more than the wildcat. Drones hive not with me, therefore I part with him, and part with him to one that would have him help to waste his borrowed purse. Well, Jessica, go in, perhaps I will return immediately, do as I bid you, shut doors after you, fast bind, fast find, a proverb never stale in thrifty mind. Exit. Farewell, and if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter, lost. Exit. Scene VI the same. This is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand, and it is marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock. Oh, 10 times faster Venus pigeons fly to seal love's bonds new made, than they are wont to keep obliged faith unforfeited. That ever holds. Who riseth from a feast with that keen appetite that he sits down? Where is the hoss that doth untread again his tedious measures with the unbated fire that he did pace them first? All things that are with more spirit chaste than enjoyed. How like a younka or a prodigal the scoffed Bach puts from her native bay, hugged and embraced by the strumpet wind. How like the prodigal doth she return, with overweathered ribs and ragged sails, lean, rent and begged by the strumpet wind. Sweet friends, your patience for my long abode, not I, but my affairs, have made you wait. When you shall please to play the thieves for wives, I'll watch as long for you then. Approach, here dwells my father Jew. Ho, who's within? Who are you? Tell me from all certainty, albeit I'll swear that I do know your tongue. Lorenzo, certain, and my love indeed, for who love I so much. And now who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours? Here, catch this casket, it is worth the pains. I am glad 'tis night, you do not look on me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit, for if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed to a boy. What, must I hold a candle to my shames? They in themselves, good sooth, are too light. Why, 'tis an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured. So are you, sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come at once, for the close night doth play the runaway, and we are stayed for at Bassanio's feast. I will make fast the doors, and gild myself with some maud ducats, and be with you straight. Exit above. Beshrew me, but I love her heartily, for she is wise, if I can judge of her, and fair she is, if that mine eyes be true, and true she is, as she hath proved herself, and therefore, like herself, wise, fair, and true, shall she be placed in my constant soul. What, art thou come? On, gentlemen, away. Our masking mates by this time for a stay. Exit with Jessica and Salarino. Fie, Gratiano, where are all the rest? 'Tis 9 o'clock. Our friends all stay for you. No masque tonight, the wind is come about. Bassanio presently will go abroad. I have sent 20 out to seek for you. I am glad on't. I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight. Exeunt. Scene room in 7 Belmont. A room in Pasha's house. Go draw aside the curtains and discover the several caskets to this noble prince. Now make your choice. The first, of gold, who this inscription bears, who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. The second, silver, which this promise carries, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. This third, dull lead, with wanting all is blunt, who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. How shall I know if I do choose the right? The one of them contains my picture. Prince, if you choose that, then I am yours withal. Some God direct my judgment. Let me see, I will survey the inscriptions back again. What says this leaden casket? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give, for what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket threatens. Men that hazard all do it in hope of fair advantages. A golden mind stoops not to shows of dross. I'll then naw give naw hazard aught for lead. What says the Silva with her virgin hue? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. As much as he deserves? Pause there, Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. If thou best rated by thy estimation, thou dost deserve enough, and yet enough may not extend so far as to the lady, and yet to be afeard of my deserving were but a weak disabling of myself. As much as I deserve? Why, that's the lady. I do in birth deserve her, and in fortunes, in graces, and in qualities of breeding. But more than these, in love I do deserve. What if I strayed no further, but chose here? Let's see once more this saying graved in gold, who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. Why, that's the lady. All the world desires her. From the far corners of the earth they come, to kiss this shrine, this mortal-breathing saint. The Hyrcanian deserts and the vasty wilds of wide Arabia are as thoroughfares now for princes to come view fair Pasha. The watery kingdom, whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven, is no bar to stop the foreign spirits, but they come, as o'er a brook, to see fair Pasha. One of these three contains her heavenly picture. Is't like that lead contains her? 'Twere damnation to think so base a thought. It were too gross to rib her cerecloth in the obscure grave. Or shall I think in silver she's immured, being 10 times undervalued to tried gold? O sinful thought! Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold, but that's insculped upon. But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. Deliver me the key, here do I choose and thrive I as I may. There, take it, prince, and if my farm lie there, then I am yours. He unlocks the golden casket. Oh hell, what have we here? A carrion death, within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing. Reads, all that glitters is not gold. Often have you heard that told, many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold, gilded tombs do worms enfold. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been inscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold indeed, and labor lust, then farewell, heat and welcome, frost, Pasha, adieu. I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave, thus loses pot. Exit with his train, flourish of cornets. A gentle riddance, draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me so. Exeunt, scene Romanate Venice, a street. Why, man, I saw Bassanio under sail, with him is Gratiano gone along, and in their ship I am sure Lorenzo is not. The villain Jew with outcries raised the Duke, who went with him to search Bassanio's ship. He came too late. The ship was under sail, but there the Duke was given to understand that in a gondola were seen together Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duke they were not with Bassanio in his ship. I never heard a passion so confused, so strange, outrageous, and so variable, as the dog Jew did utter in the streets. My daughter, oh my Jewcats, oh my daughter, fled with a Christian. Oh my Christian Jewcats, justice, the law, my Jewcats and my daughter. A sealed bag, 2 sealed bags of Jewcats, of double Jewcats, stolen from me by my daughter. And jewels, 2 stones, 2 rich and precious stones, stolen by my daughter. Justice, find the girl, she hath the stones upon her, and the Jewcats. Why, all the boys in Venice follow him, crying, his stones, his daughter, and his Jewcats. Let good Antonio look he keep his day, or he shall pay for this. Marry, well remembered. I reasoned with a Frenchman yesterday, who told me, in the narrow seas that part the French and English, there miscarried a vessel of our country richly fraught. I thought upon Antonio when he told me, and wished in silence that it were not his. You were best to tell Antonio what you hear, yet do not suddenly, for it may grieve him. A kind of gentleman treads not the earth. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return. He answered, do not so. Slubber not business for my sake, Bassanio, but stay the very riping of the time, and for the Jew's bond which he hath of me, let it not enter in your mind of love, be merry, and employ your chiefest thoughts to courtship and such fair ostents of love as shall conveniently become you there. And even there, his eye being big with tears, turning his face, he put his hand behind him, and with affection wondrous sensible he wrung Bassanio's hand, and so they parted. I think he only loves the world for him. I pray thee, let us go and find him out and quicken his embraced heaviness with some delight or other. Scene Roman 9 Belmont, a room in Pasha's house. Quick, quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight, the Prince of Aragon hath ta'en his oath and comes to his election presently. Behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince, if you choose that wherein I am contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail, without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately. I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket 'twas I chose. Next, if I fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone. To these injunctions every one doth swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self. And so have I addressed me. Fortune now to my heart's hope, gold, silver, and base lead. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. You shall look fairer, ere I give or hazard. What says the golden chest? Ha, let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire? That many may be meant by the fool multitude that choose by show, not learning more than the fond eye doth teach, which prize not to the interior, but, like the motley, builds in the weather on the outward wall, even in the fosse and road of casualty. I will not choose what many men desire, because I will not jump with common spirits and rank me with the barbarous multitudes. Why then to thee, thou silver treasure house? Tell me once more what title thou dost bear. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. And well said too, for who shall go about to cozen fortune and be honorable without the stamp of merit? Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Oh, that estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. How many then should cover that stand bear? How many be commanded that command? How much low peasantry would then be gleaned from the true seed of honor, and how much honor picked from the chaff and ruin of the times to be new varnished? Well, but to my choice? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. I will assume desert. Give me a key for this, and instantly unlock my fortunes here. He opens the silver casket. What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot presenting me a schedule? I will read it. How much unlike art thou to Pasha? How much unlike my hopes and my deservings? Who chooseth me shall have as much as he deserves. Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Is that my prize? Are my deserts no better? To offend and judge are distinct offices and of opposed natures. What is here? Reads, the fire 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is, that did never choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive, I wise, silvered awe, and so was this. Take what wife you will to bed, I will ever be your head, so be gone, you are sped. Still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here with one fool's head I came to woo, but I go away with 2. Sweet, adieu, I'll keep my oath, patiently to bear my wrath. Exeunt Aragon and train, thus hath the candle singed the moth. Oh, these deliberate fools! When they do choose, they have the wisdom by their wit to lose. The ancient saying is no heresy, hanging and wiving goes by destiny. Madam, there is alighted at your gate a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensible regreets, to wit, besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. Yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet, to show how costly summer was at hand, as this Phosphora comes before his lord. No more, I pray thee. I am half afeard thou wilt say anon he is some kin to thee, thou spendst such high-day wit in praising him. Come, come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so mannily. Act Roman 3 Scene I Venice, a street, Scene Roman 2 Belmont, a room in Pasha's house. I pray you tarry, pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong I lose your company, therefore forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love, I would not lose you, and you know yourself, hate counsels not in such equality. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought, I would detain you here some month or 2 before you venture from me. I could teach you how to choose right, but I am then forsworn, so will I never be, so may you miss me. But if you do, you'll make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. Beshrew your eyes, they have all looked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours, mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours. Oh, these naughty times put bars between the owners and their rights, and so though yours, not yours. Prove it so, let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but 'tis to pease the time, to eke it and to draw it out in length to stay you from election. Let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack. Upon the rack, Bassanio? Then confess what treason there is mingled with your love. None but that ugly treason of mistrust, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. There may as well be amity and life tween snow and fire, as treason and my love. Ay, but I fear you speak upon the rack, where men in Faust do speak anything. Confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. O happy torment when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. But let me to my fortune and the caskets. Away, then? I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Nerissa and the rest stand all aloof. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Then, if he lose, he makes a swan-like end, fading in music. That the comparison may stand more proper, my eye shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. He may win, and what is music then? Then music is even as the flourish when true subjects bow to a new-crowned monarch. Such it is as are those dulcet sounds in break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear, and summon him to marriage. Now he goes, with no less presence, but with much more love, than young Alcides, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea-monster. I stand for sacrifice, the rest aloof are the Dardanian wives, with bleared visages, come forth to view the issue of the exploit. Go, Hercules. Live thou, I live. With much, much more dismay I view the fight than thou that makest the fray. Tell me where is fancy bred, or in the heart, or in the head, how begot, how nourished? Reply, reply. It is engendered in the eyes, with gazing fed, and fancy dies in the cradle where it lies. Let us all ring fancy's knell, I'll begin it, ding, dong, bell. So may the outward shows be least themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil? In religion, what damned error, but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament? There is no vice so simple, but assumes some mock of virtue on his outward parts. How many cowards, whose hearts are all as false as stairs of sand, wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars, who, inward searched, have livers white as milk, and these assume but valor's excrement to render them redoubted. Look on beauty, and you shall see 'tis purchased by the weight, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lightest that wear most of it. So are those crisped snaky golden locks which make such wanton gambols with the wind, upon supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of a second head, the skull that bred them in the sepulchre. Thus ornament is but the guiled shaw to a most dangerous sea, the beauteous scarf veiling an Indian beauty, in a word, the seeming truth which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Medas, I will none of thee, nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge tween man and man. But thou meagre lead, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught, thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. And here choose I, joy be the consequence, aside. How all the other passions fleet to air, as doubtful thoughts and rash embraced despair, and shuddering fear, and green-eyed jealousy. O love, be moderate, allay thy ecstasy, in measure reign thy joy, scant this excess. I feel too much thy blessing, make it less for fear I surfeit. What find I here? Opening the leaden casket, fair Pasha's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation? Move these eyes, or whether, riding on the balls of mine, seem they in motion? Here are severed lips potted with sugar breath, so sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Here in her hairs the painter plays the spider, and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men, faster than gnats in cobwebs. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? Having made one, methinks it should have power to steal both his and leave itself unfurnished. Yet look, how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprising it, so far this shadow doth limp behind the substance. Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. Reads, you that choose not by the view, chance as fair and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is and claim her with a loving kiss. A gentle scroll. Fair lady, by your leave, I come by note to give and to receive. Like one of two contending in a prize, that thinks he hath done well in people's eyes, hearing applause and universal shout, giddy in spirit, still gazing in a doubt whether these pearls of praise be his or no. So, thrice fair lady, stand I, even so, as doubtful whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you. You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. Though for myself alone I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better, yet for you I would be troubled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich, that only to stand high in your account I might in virtue, beauties, livings, friends, exceed account. But the full sum of me is some of something, which, to term in gross, is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. Happy in this, she is not yet so old but she may learn. Happier than this, she is not bred so dull but she can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed, as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. But now I was the lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen all myself. And even now, but now, this house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lord. I give them with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love and be my vantage to exclaim on you. Madam, you have bereft me of all words. only my blood speaks to you in my veins, and there is such confusion in my powers, as after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince, there doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something, being blent together, turns to a wild of nothing, save of joy, expressed and not expressed. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Oh, then be bold to say Bassanio's dead. My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper, to cry, good joy, my lord and lady. My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy that you can wish, for I am sure you can wish none from me, and when your honours mean to solemnize the bargain of your faith, I do beseech you, even at that time I may be married too. I thank your lordship, you have got me one. My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours. You saw the mistress, I beheld the maid. You loved, I loved for intermission. No more pertains to me, my lord, than you. Your fortune stood upon the casket there, and so did mine too, as the matter falls. For wooing here until I sweat again, and sweating until my very roof was dry with oaths of love, at last, if promise last, I got a promise of this fair one here to have her love, provided that your fortune achieved her mistress. No, we shall now win at that spot and stake down. But who comes here? Lorenzo and his infidel? What, and my old Venetian friend Salerio? Lorenzo and Salerio, welcome hither, if that the youth of my new interest here have power to bid you welcome. By your leave, I bid my very friends and countrymen, sweet Pasha, welcome. So do I, my lord, they are entirely welcome, I thank your honour. For my part, my lord, my purpose was not to have seen you here, but meeting with Salerio by the way, he did entreat me, past all saying nay, to come with him along. I did, my lord, and I have reason for it. Signor Antonio commends him to you, gives Bassanio a letter. Ere I ope his letter, I pray you, tell me how my good friend doth. Not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind, nor well, unless in mind, his letter there will show you his estate. Nerissa, cheer yon stranger, bid her welcome. Your hand, Salerio, what's the news from Venice? How doth that royal merchant, good Antonio? I know he will be glad of our success. We are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. There are some shrewd contents in yon same paper, that steals the colour from Bassanio's cheek, some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. What, worse and worse, with leave, Bassanio, I am half yourself, and I must freely have the half of anything that this same paper brings you. O sweet Pasha, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you, all the wealth I had ran in my veins, I was a gentleman, and then I told you true, and yet, dear lady, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. When I told you my state was nothing, I should then have told you that I was worse than nothing. For indeed, I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy, to feed my means. Here is a letter, lady, the paper as the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound, issuing life-blood. But is it true, Salerio? Have all his ventures failed? What, not one hit? From Tripolis, from Mexico and England, from Lisbon, Barbary and India, and not one vessel scaped the dreadful touch of merchant-marring rocks, not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Never did I know a creature that did bear the shape of man, so keen and greedy to confound a man. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and doth impeach the freedom of the state if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the magnificos of greatest pot, have all persuaded with him. But none can drive him from the envious plea of forfeiture, of justice and his bond. When I was with him, I have heard him swear to Tubal and to choose, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio. The dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the ancient Roman honour more appears than any that draws breath in Italy. What, no more? Pay him 6,000, and deface the bond, double 6,000, and then treble that, before a friend of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First go with me to church and call me wife, and then away to Venice to your friend, for never shall you lie by Pasha's side with an unquiet soul. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over. When it is paid, bring your true friend along. My maid Nerissa and myself meantime will live as maids and widows. Come, away, for you shall hence upon your wedding day, bid your friends welcome, show a merry cheer, since you are dear bought, I will love you dear. But let me hear the letter of your friend. reads, Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried, my creditors grow cruel, my estate is very low, my bond to the Jew is forfeit. And since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure, if your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter. Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste. But till I come again, no bed shall I be guilty of my stay, no rest be interposer twixt us twain. Exeunt. Scene Roman 3 Venice. A street. Jailer, look to him. Tell not me of mercy, this is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him. I'll have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath that I will have my bond. Thou calledst me dog before thou hadst a cause, but since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duke shall grant me justice. I do wonder thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to come abroad with him at his request. I'll have my bond, I will not hear thee speak. I'll have my bond, and therefore speak no more. I'll not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool, to shake the head, relent, and sigh, and yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not, I'll have no speaking, I will have my bond. Exit. It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men. Let him alone, I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life, his reason well I know. I oft delivered from his forfeitures many that have at times made moan to me, therefore he hates me. I am sure the Duke will never grant this forfeiture to hold. The Duke cannot deny the cause of law, for the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of his state, since that the trade and profit of the city consisteth of all nations. Therefore, go, these griefs and losses have so baited me, that I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, on. Pray God, Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, and then I care not. Exeunt. Scene Roman 4 Belmont. A room in Pasha's house. Madam, although I speak it in your presence, you have a noble and a true conceit of godlike amity, which appears most strongly in bearing thus the absence of your lord. But if you knew to whom you show this honor, how true a gentleman you send relief, how dear a lover of my lord your husband, I know you would be prouder of the work than customary bounty can enforce you. I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now, for in companions that do converse and waste the time together, whose souls do bear an equal yoke of love, there must be needs a like proportion of lineaments, of manners, and of spirit, which makes me think that this Antonio, being the bosom lover of my lord, must needs be like my lord. If it be so, how little is the cost I have bestowed in purchasing the semblance of my soul from out the state of hellish misery. This comes too near the praising of myself, therefore no more of it. Here other things. Lorenzo, I commit into your hands the husbandry and manage of my house until my lord's return. For mine own part, I have toward heaven breathed a secret vow to live in prayer and contemplation, only attended by Nerissa here, until her husband and my lord's return. There is a monastery 2 miles off, and there will we abide. I do desire you not to deny this imposition, the which my love and some necessity now lays upon you. Madam, with all my heart, I shall obey you in all fair commands. My people do already know my mind, and will acknowledge you and Jessica in place of Lord Bassanio and myself, and so farewell, till we shall meet again. I thank you for your wish, and am well pleased to wish it back on you. Fare you well, Jessica. Exeunt Jessica and Lorenzo. Now, Balthasar, as I have ever found thee honest true, so let me find thee still. Take this same letter, and use thou all the endeavor of a man in speed to Padua. See thou render this into my cousin's hand, Dr. Bellario, and look, what notes and garments he doth give thee, bring them, I pray thee, with imagined speed unto the Trainact, to the common ferry which trades to Venice. Waste no time in words, but get thee gone. I shall be there before thee. Come on, Nerissa, I have work in hand that you yet know not of. We'll see our husbands before they think of us. They shall, Nerissa, but in such a habit that they shall think we are accomplished with that we lack. I'll hold thee any wager, when we are both accoutred like young men, I'll prove the prettier fellow of the two, and wear my dagger with the braver grace, and speak between the change of man and boy with a reed voice, and turn 2 mincing steps into a manly stride, and speak of phrase like a fine bragging youth, and tell quaint lies, how honorable ladies sought my love, which I denying, they fell sick and died. I could not do withal. Then I'll repent and wish for all that I had not killed them, and 20 of these puny lies I'll tell, that men shall swear I have discontinued school above a 12 a month. I have within my mind 1,000 raw tricks of these bragging jacks, which I will practice. Fie, what a question's that, if thou wert near a lewd interpreter. But come, I'll tell thee all my whole device when I am in my coach, which stays for us at the park gate, and therefore haste away, for we must measure 20 miles today. Exeunt. Scene V the same. A garden. Oh dear discretion, how his words are suited! The fool hath planted in his memory an army of good words, and I do know a many fools that stand in better place, garnished like him, that for a tricksy word defy the matter. How cheerest thou, Jessica? And now, good sweet, say thy opinion, how dost thou like the Lord Bassanio's wife? Past all expressing. It is very meet the Lord Bassanio live an upright life, for having such a blessing in his lady, he finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he do not mean it, then in reason he should never come to heaven. Why, if two gods should play some heavenly match and on the wager lay two earthly women, and posher one, there must be something else pawned with the other, for the poor rude world hath not her fellow. Even such a husband haste thou of me as she is for a wife. No, pray thee, let it serve for table talk. Then, howso thou speakst, mong other things I shall digest it. Act Roman fa scene I Venice. A cod of justice. I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy. I have heard your grace hath ta'en great pains to qualify his rigorous cause, but since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer, with a quietness of spirit, the very tyranny and rage of his. Make room, and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadst this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act. And then 'tis thought thou'lt show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. And where thou now exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only loose the forfeiture, but, touched with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on his losses, that have of late so huddled on his back, to press a royal merchant down and pluck commiseration of his state from brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint, from stubborn Turks and Tatars, never trained to offices of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew. I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me, why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say, it is my humour. Is it answered? What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it baned? What, are you answered yet? Some men there are love not a gaping pig, some, that are mad if they behold a cat, and others, when the bagpipe sings I the nose, cannot contain their urine. For affection, mistress of passion, sways it to the mood of what it likes all loathes. Now, for your answer, as there is no firm reason to be rendered, why he cannot abide a gaping pig, why he a harmless necessary cat, why he a woolen bagpipe, but of force must yield to such inevitable shame as to offend, himself being offended, so can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodged hate and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered? This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty. I pray you, think you question with the Jew? You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf why he hath made the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops and to make no noise, when they are frettin' with the gusts of heaven. You may as well do anything most hard, as seek to soften that, than which what's harder? His Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no farther means, but with all brief and plain conveniency let me have judgment and the Jew his will. What judgment shall I dread? Doing we're in 6 pots and every pot a ducat. I would not draw them, I would have my bond. What judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish pots because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs? Why sweat they under burthens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours, and let their palates be seasoned with such viands. You will answer the slaves are ours. So do I answer you, the pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought, 'tis mine and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law, there is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment, answer, shall I have it? Upon my power I may dismiss this cot, unless Bellario, a learned doctor, whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today. My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua. Good cheer, Antonio. What man, courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood. I am a tainted wether of the flock, meetest for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me you cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph. Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen, but no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee? Oh, be thou damned, inexecrable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras, that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Thy currish spirit governed a wolf, who, hanged for human slaughter, even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet, and, whilst thou lay'st in thy unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee, for thy desires are wolvish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offend'st thy lungs to speak so loud, repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law. This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our cot. Where is he? He attendeth here hard by, to know your answer, whether you'll admit him. With all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime the cot shall hear Bellario's letter. Reads, Your Grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick, but in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthasar. I acquainted him with the cause in controversy between the Jew and Antonio, the merchant. We turned many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which, betted with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend, comes with him, at my importunity, to fill up your Grace's request in my stead. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack a reverend estimation, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation. You hear the learned Bellario, what he writes, and here, I take it, is the doctor come. You are welcome, take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the cot? I am informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew? Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not? The quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the foss of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show likest God's when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the cause of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, this strict cot of Venice must needs give sentence gainst the merchant there. My deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond. Yes, here I tender it for him in the cot. Yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. And I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will. It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be. A Daniel come to judgment? Yea, a Daniel? O wise young judge, how I do honor thee! An oath, I have an oath in heaven, shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice. Why, this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh, to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond, when it is paid according to the tenor. It doth appear you are a worthy judge, you know the law, your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar, proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond. Most haughtily I do beseech the cot to give the judgment. Why then thus it is, you must prepare your bosom for his knife. For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond. 'Tis very true, O wise and upright judge, how much more elder art thou than thy looks? I his breast, so says the bond. Doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words, it is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh? Have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death. It is not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity. But little, I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio, fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth, to view with hollow eye and wrinkled brow an age of poverty, from which lingering penance of such misery doth she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife, tell her the process of Antonio's end, say how I loved you, speak me fair in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it presently with all my heart. Antonio, I am married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife and all the world, are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all, I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you. Your wife would give you little thanks for that, if she were by, to hear you make the offer. I have a wife whom I protest I love. I would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this currish Jew. 'Tis well you offer it behind her back, the wish would make else an unquiet house. These be the Christian husbands, I have a daughter, would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? Aside. We trifle time, I pray thee, pursue sentence. A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine, the cod awards it, and the law doth give it. And you must cut this flesh from off his breast, the law allows it, and the cod awards it. Tarry a little, there is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood, the words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. But in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscate unto the state of Venice. Thyself shalt see the act for, as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice, more than thou desirest. I take this offer then, pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go. Soft, the Jew shall have all justice, soft, no haste, he shall have nothing but the penalty. Therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou cutst more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple, nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou deest and all thy goods are confiscate. A second Daniel, a Daniel, Jew? Now, infidel, I have you on the hip. He hath refused it in the open caught, he shall have merely justice and his bond. A Daniel, still say I, a second Daniel, I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word. Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril, Jew. Why, then the devil give him good of it? I'll stay no longer question. Tarry, Jew, the law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party gainst the which he doth contrive shall seize one half his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the duke only, gainst all other voice. In which predicament, I say, thou standst. For it appears, by manifest proceeding, that indirectly and directly too thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down therefore, and beg mercy of the duke. Beg that thou mayst have leave to hang thyself. And yet, thy wealth being forfeit to the state, thou hast not left the value of a cod, therefore thou must be hanged at the state's charge. That thou shalt see the difference of our spirits, I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it, for half thy wealth, it is Antonio's. The other half comes to the general state, which humbleness may drive unto a fine. Nay, take my life and all, pardon not that. You take my house when you do take the prop that doth sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live. So please my lord the duke and all the cot to quit the fine for one half of his goods, I am content, so he will let me have the other half in use, to render it, upon his death, unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. Two things provided more, that for this favor he presently become a Christian, the other, that he do record a gift, here in the cot, of all he dies possessed, unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter. He shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounced here. I pray you, give me leave to go from hence. I am not well, send the deed after me, and I will sign it. In christening shalt thou have 2 godfathers. Had I been judge, thou shouldst have had 10 more, to bring thee to the gallows, not the font. Exit Shylock. I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth. I am sorry that your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for, in my mind, you are much bound to him. Exeunt Duke and his train. Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friend have by your wisdom been this day acquitted of grievous penalties, in lieu whereof, 3,000 ducats, due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains withal, and stand indebted, over and above, in love and service to you evermore. He is well paid that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I pray you, know me when we meet again. I wish you well, and so I take my leave. Dear sir, of Foss I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us as a tribute, not as a fee. Grant me 2 things, I pray you, not to deny me, and to pardon me. You press me far, and therefore I will yield. To Antonio. Give me your gloves, I'll wear them for your sake. To Bassanio. And for your love, I'll take this ring from you. Do not draw back your hand, I'll take no more. And you in love shall not deny me this. This ring, good sir, alas, it is a trifle. I will not shame myself to give you this. I will have nothing else but only this, and now methinks I have a mind to it. There's more depends on this than on the value. The dearest ring in Venice will I give you, and find it out by proclamation. Only for this, I pray you pardon me. I see, sir, you are liberal in offers you taught me first to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered. Good sir, this ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither sell nor give nor lose it. That skuse serves many men to save their gifts. And if your wife be not a madwoman, and know how well I have deserved the ring, she would not hold out enemy forever, for giving it to me. Well, peace be with you. Exeunt Pasha and Nerissa. My lord Bassanio, let him have the ring, let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandment. Go, Gratiano, run and overtake him, give him the ring, and bring him, if thou canst, unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste. Exit Gratiano. Come, you and I will thither presently, and in the morning early will we both fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio. Exeunt. Scene room into the same, a street. Inquire the Jew's house out, give him this deed and let him sign it. We'll away tonight and be a day before our husband's home. This deed will be well welcome to Lorenzo. Fair sir, you are well aughtan my lord Bassanio, upon more advice hath sent you here this ring, and doth entreat your company at dinner. That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you, show my youth old Shylock's house. Sir, I would speak with you. Aside to Pasha. I'll see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever. Aside to Nerissa. Thou mayst, I warrant. We shall have old swearing that they did give the rings away to men, but we'll outface them, and outswear them too. Aloud. Away, make haste. Thou knowst where I will tarry. Act v. Scene I Belmont. Avenue to Pasha's house. The moon shines bright, in such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise. In such a night Troilus methinks mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents, where Cressid lay that night. In such a night did Thisbe fearfully outtrip the dew, and saw the lion's shadow ere himself, and ran dismayed away. In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks, and waft her love to come again to Carthage. In such a night Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson. In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont. In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, and ne'er a true one. In such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her. I would outnight you did nobody come, but hark, I hear the footing of a man. Stephano is my name, and I bring word my mistress will before the break of day be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours. None but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned? He is not, nor we have not heard from him. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. Sola, did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo, sola, sola, sweet soul, let's in, and there expect their coming. And yet no matter, why should we go in? My friend Stephano, signify, I pray you, within the house, your mistress is at hand, and bring your music forth into the air. Exit Stephano. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here will we sit and let the sounds of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Sit, Jessica. Look how the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patines of bright gold. There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdst, but in his motion like an angel sings. still choiring to the young-eyed cherubins. Such harmony is in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it. Come, ho, and wake Diana with a hymn, with sweetest touches pierce your mistress' ear, and draw her home with music. Music. The reason is, your spirits are attentive, for do but note a wild and wanton herd, or race of youthful and unhandled colts, fetching mad bounds, bellowing and neighing loud, which is the hot condition of their blood. If they but hear perchance a trumpet sound, or any air of music touch their ears, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand, their savage eyes turned to a modest gaze by the sweet power of music. Therefore the poet did feign that Orpheus drew trees, stones, and floods, since not so stockish, hard, and full of rage, but music for the time doth change his nature. The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. The motions of his spirit are dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let no such man be trusted. Mock the music. That light we see is burning in my hall. How far that little candle throws his beams. So shines a good deed in a naughty world. So doth the greater glory dim the less. A substitute shines brightly as a king unto the king be by, and then his state empties itself, as doth an inland brook into the main of waters. Music? Hark? Nothing is good, I see, without respect. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day. The crow doth sing as sweetly as the lark, when neither is attended, and I think the nightingale, if she should sing by day, when every goose is cackling, would be thought no better a musician than the wren. How many things by season seasoned are to their right praise and true perfection? Peace, ho! The moon sleeps with Endymion and would not be awaked. Music ceases. That is the voice, or I am much deceived, of Pasha. He knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo, by the bad voice. We have been praying for our husbands' healths, which speed, we hope, the better for our words. Are they returned? Madam, they are not yet, but there is come a messenger before, to signify their coming. Go in, Nerissa, give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Gnaw you, Lorenzo, Jessica, gnaw you. A tucket sounds. Your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. We are no telltales, madam, fear you not. This night methinks is but the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. 'Tis a day, such as the day is when the sun is hid. We should hold day with the antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun. Let me give light, but let me not be light, for a light wife doth make a heavy husband, and never be Bassanio so for me. But God sought all? You are welcome home, my lord. I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man, this is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound. You should in all sense be much bound to him. For as I hear, he was much bound for you. Sir, you are very welcome to our house. It must appear in other ways than words, therefore I scant this breathing courtesy. To Nerissa. By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clock. Would he were jealous that had it, for my pot, since you do take it, love, so much at heart. About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring that she did give me, whose posy was for all the world like cutlass poetry upon a knife. Love me, and leave me not. What talk you of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it you, that you would wear it till your hour of death, and that it should lie with you in your grave. Though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths, you should have been respective and have kept it. Gave it a judge's clock? No, God's my judge, the clock will ne'er wear hair on's face that had it. Now, by this hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy, a little scrubbed boy, no higher than thyself, the judge's clock, a prating boy, that begged it as a fee. I could not for my heart deny it him. You were to blame, I must be plain with you, to pot so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring, and made him swear never to pot with it. And here he stands. I dare be swan for him he would not leave it nor pluck it from his finger, for the wealth that the world masters. Now, in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief, and twere to me, I should be mad at it. Aside, why, I were best to cut my left hand off and swear I lost the ring defending it. My lord Bassanio gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it and indeed deserved it too, and then the boy, his clock, that took some pains in writing, he begged mine, and neither man nor master would take aught but the 2 rings. What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me. If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it, but you see my finger hath not the ring upon it, it is gone. Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will ne'er come in your bed until I see the ring, nor I in yours till I again see mine. Sweet Pasha, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring, and would conceive for what I gave the ring and how unwillingly I left the ring, when naught would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure. If you had known the virtue of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honour to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so much unreasonable, if you had pleased to have defended it with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as a ceremony? Nerissa teaches me what to believe. I'll die fought but some woman had the ring. No, by my honour, madam, by my soul, no woman had it, but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me and begged the ring, the which I did deny him and suffered him to go displeased away, even he that did uphold the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it off to him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honour would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Pardon me, good lady, for by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor. Let not that doctor e'er come near my house, since he hath got the jewel that I loved, and that which you did swear to keep for me. I will become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have, no, not my body nor my husband's bed. Know him I shall, I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home. Watch me like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, now, by mine honour, which is yet mine own, I'll have that doctor for my bedfellow. And I his clock. Therefore be well advised how you do leave me to mine own protection. Well, do you so. Let not me take him then, for if I do, I'll mar the young clock's pen. Pasha, forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of these many friends I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself. Mark you but that? In both my eyes he doubly sees himself, in each eye one. Swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit. Nay, but hear me, pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear I never more will break an oath with thee. I once did lend my body for his wealth, which, but for him that had your husband's ring, had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again, my soul upon the forfeit, that your lord will never more break faith advisedly. Then you shall be his surety. Give him this and bid him keep it better than the other. I had it of him, pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring the doctor lay with me, and pardon me, my gentle Gratiano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clock, in lieu of this last night did lie with me. Why, this is like the mending of highways in summer, where the ways are fair enough. What, are we cuckolds ere we have deserved it? Speak not so grossly. You are all amazed? Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellario. There you shall find that Pasha was the doctor, Nerissa there her clock. Lorenzo here shall witness I set forth as soon as you and even but now returned. I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are welcome, and I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon, that you shall find 3 of your argosies are richly come to harbour suddenly. You shall not know by what strange accident I chanced on this letter. I but the clock that never means to do it, unless he live until he be a man. Sweet doctor, you shall be my bedfellow. When I am absent, then lie with my wife. Sweet lady, you have given me life and living, for here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to road. How now, Lorenzo? My clock hath some good comforts too for you. Aye, and I'll give them him without a fee. There do I give to you and Jessica, from the rich Jew, a special deed of gift, after his death, of all he dies possessed of. Fair ladies, you drop manner in the way of starved people. It is almost morning, and yet I am sure you are not satisfied of these events at full. Let us go in, and charge us thereupon interrogatories, and we will answer all things faithfully. Let it be so. The first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall be sworn on is, whether till the next night she had rather stay, or go to bed now, being 2 hours to-day. But were the day come, I should wish it dark, that I were couching with the doctor's clock. Well, while I live I'll fear no other thing so sore as keeping safe Nerissa's ring. Exeunt. Colophon the Merchant of Venice was published in 1596 by William Shakespeare. This e-book was produced for Standard eBooks by Mock Gimpel, and is based on a transcription produced in 1993 by Jeremy Hilton for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and on digital scans from the Hathai Trust Digital Library. The cover page is adapted from Piazza San Marco, a painting completed in the late 1720s by Canaletto. The cover and title pages feature the League Spartan and Sots Mill Gaudi typefaces created in 2014 and 2009 by the League of Movable Type. This edition was released on August 18, 2025, 9:13 p.m., and is based on revision 3743 C2B. The first edition of this ebook was released on February 15, 2022, 7 o'clock p.m. You can check for updates to this ebook, view its revision history, or download it for different e-reading systems at standardbooksorg/ebooks/William Shakespeare/The Merchant of Venice. The volunteer-driven Standard eBooks project relies on readers like you to submit typos, corrections, and other improvements. Anyone can contribute at Standard.org. Dramatis Personae the Duke of Venice, the Prince of Morocco. Suitor to Pasha, the Prince of Aragon. Suitor to Pasha Antonio. A merchant of Venice, Bassanio. His friend, suitor likewise to Pasha Salanio. Friend to Antonio and Bassiano Salarino. Friend to Antonio and Bassiano Gratiano. Friend to Antonio and Bassiano Salirio. Friend to Antonio and Bassiano Lorenzo. In love with Jessica Shylock. A rich Jew Tubal. A Jew. His friend Lancelot Gobbo, the clown, servant to Shylock old Gobbo, father to Lancelot Leonardo, servant to Bassiano Balthasar, servant to Pasha Stefano, servant to Pasha Pasha, a rich heiress Nerissa, her waiting maid Jessica, daughter to Shylock Magnificos of Venice, officers of the Court of Justice, jailer, servants to Pasha and other attendants seen, partly at Venice and partly at Belmont, the seat of Pasha, on the continent. The Merchant of Venice. Imprint this ebook is the product of many hours of hard work by volunteers for Standard ebooks and builds on the hard work of other literature lovers made possible by the public domain. This particular ebook is based on a transcription from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and on digital scans from the Hathaway Trust Digital Library. The source text and artwork in this ebook are believed to be in the United States public domain. That is, they are believed to be free of copyright restrictions in the United States. They may still be copyrighted in other countries, so users located outside of the United States must check their local laws before using this ebook. The creators of, and contributors to, this ebook dedicate their contributions to the worldwide public domain via the terms in the CC 01.0 Universal Public Domain Dedication. For full license information, see the uncopyright at the end of this ebook. Standard eBooks is a volunteer-driven project that produces ebook editions of public domain literature using modern typography, technology, and editorial standards, and distributes them free of cost. You can download this and other ebooks carefully produced for true book lovers at Standard.org.